Hey friends, this is your host and brother Soumya. Welcome you back to another video of FPL Canvas. As the season has finally started and much awaited first game week has reached its conclusion, in this video I am going to discuss and do further analysis for game week 2. But first, let's see how the team has performed in first game week and then we'll analyze for the upcoming game week transfer, probable lineup and many more. But before starting, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click on the subscribe button. Also make sure to enable the bell icon button beside it to keep updated for the upcoming videos. Now, coming to the performance for our first game week, starting off with goalkeeper, with West Ham starting the campaign under new manager Joellen Lopetegui, the Hammers faced an uphill task from first game week itself against Aston Villa, with the French goalkeeper showing glimpses of rustiness, having just 46 minutes of preseason, considering 2 goals of Villa's 3 attempts on target. Moving on to the defense, Arsenal started the new campaign as they finished last season, 2-0 victory against Wolves, with the French centre-back being rock at the heart of defence, producing 4 tackles, 1 interception, 3 clearances, finishing off with a clean sheet and 3 points in the bag. Despite of a man down in the 20th minute, Newcastle and Dan Burn managed to keep hold of the clean sheet, with the centre-back penalised with a yellow card in the second half. Other than that, the centre-back has won 1 aerial duel, 10 clearances and had 1 blocked attempt. Not a lucky third clean sheet this time, with Crystal Palace handed the first defeat against Brentford. However, all was not gloom for the Munoz owners, with the Colombian getting a lucky assist courtesy of Pinnock on goal. Apart from the assist, the wingback finished with 3 aerial duels, producing 1 key opportunity, 4 tackles and 1 interception. Moving on to the midfield, Liverpool set up to a flying task start under new manager Arne Slot and the Egyptian maestro who stole the show, setting up an assist for Diogo Jota within 15 minutes of second half and finding the back of the net 5 minutes later. Apart from this, the winger had 4 attempted shots, providing 2 key passes and 3 long balls. After the first half red card against Southampton, Newcastle switched off their attacking gears, with the Toons tried to exploit the promoted side on counter, with the majority of the game being played on their half, protecting the lead and what they had. Despite of that, Gordon had provided 1 key pass with a successful pass completion of 71.4%. Son has been a lethal as a winger in the last few seasons, especially against newly promoted teams. However, Leicester has done a pretty good job restricting the Spurs captain out of the sight of goal as much as possible, taking in consideration the rich history he had against the Foxes, limiting the winger with just an attempted shot and 1 key pass, with the match ending on a 1-all draw. Newman Daichi Kamada had a quiet start to the season, with the Japanese attacking midfielder providing 2 key passes, 1 successful dribble against Brentford, however, was not enough to set Palace over the line against the Bees. Arsenal had a perfect start to the season, putting past 2 goals and a clean sheet. However, despite of no attacking returns, Rice overall game control and position play against Wolves has been under-noticed, with the midfielder creating 2 key goal-scoring opportunities, 1 attempted shot and winning 1 aerial duel as well. Coming to the forward, with key resources available, City midfield struggled to link up with the forward line, especially with Erling Haaland. However, that was of least concern for the Norwegian, as the number 9 found the back of the net with limited opportunities given. Apart from the goal, the number 9 had 2 attempted shots and winning 2 aerial duels. And completing the lineup with Nottingham Forest informed striker Chris Wood. Despite of finding the back of the net, didn't had much of a joy in front of the goal, with the striker having just 1 attempt for 72 minutes on the pitch, winning 7 aerial duels. So, with 3 goals, 2 assists, and 2 clean sheets, the team was able to surpass a game week average of 57 with 62 points on the board, standing at just above 3 million starting game week 1. Now, coming on to the transfer, with just a game week so far and teams setting slowly, with players finding the feats, for now would like to hold on to the transfer apart from further update regarding any injury concern. So considering with no new further incomings, let's look at how the team would look like for game week 2. Starting up between the post is Alphonso Ariola. With Palace and West Ham having both suffered defeat in the game week 1, it will be interesting to watch as how both teams respond coming game week. With West Ham currently under new manager and Ariola hadn't had the best of game last week, I mean we know what he's capable of. Could be a decisive game as both the teams would be targeting for Europa spot this time. Moving on to the defense, after a dominating performance in Game Week 1, William Saliba again makes it to the starting 11. However, Aston Villa could possess more of a threat compared to that of the Wolves. However, apart from the defensive dominance which led them to most of number of clean sheet last season, Gunner also scored the most number of goals from set pieces as well. In spite of a defeat against Brentford, Daniel Munoz has been impressive last week, with Colombian finding himself in more of an advanced position when Palace are positioned, leading to an assist to the only goal scored by them, with Digne playing more of a similar role for the West Ham on the opposite end. Spaces would be created if Palace could look to exploit those gaps. Sticking with the back three for the upcoming game week 2, and that brings me to my final selection for the back three is Stanburn. With Newcastle facing short of options, especially in centre back with Botman, Lascelles not fit and Fabian Shaw suspended for the next three matches, Danman remains the only first choice centre back, facing up against a Bomber side who have lost their star striker Dominic Solanke to Tottenham. New signing Evan Nilsson could start at front for the Cherries, which could be a good news considering he hasn't had much minutes playing with the side for Newcastle. However, apart from that, with Trippier returning late from preseason and based at game week 1, chances are he could start against Bournemouth, which could benefit Newcastle and Anman on the set piece scenarios. On to the midfield. With a golden and assist against Ipswich, Salah comes in the starting 11 with the Egyptian possessing a clear dominance against the opposition, having found the back of the net on 5 occasions also with an assist out of last 5 fixtures against Brentford. Tottenham had to settle for a draw against promoted Leicester last week with Son had not been able to provide much of an impact against the Foxes. Meanwhile, Everton also didn't have the best of starts, suffering a 3-0 defeat against Brighton, allowing 10 attempted shots. Also, in addition to that, Everton are also facing a defensive crisis with Braithwaite, Coleman, Patterson all facing long-term injuries, also having lost Ashley Young through suspension for the next game. Looking at the past record, the winger had faced the Merseyside 13 times, of which he has scored 5 goals and provided 3 assists, including a goal last time at this fixture. Like Son, Anthony Gordon also didn't contribute much on the offensive end last week, somewhat majorly due to the red card of Fabian Shaw early on. Meanwhile, Bournemouth had their own issues at the back, with the Cherries following, allowing around 14 attempted shots, with 8 of those on target against Nottingham Forest, with question marks over the form of the first choice goalkeeper Neto had been raised previously, leading to Brazilian being dropped and promoting Travers towards the end of the season last time. Palace new number 8 in Daichi Kamada had a decent start to his Premier League campaign, although the attacking midfielder had not had much of an attacking input previous game week, but had been previously applauded for his work rate compared to the likes of Thomas Muller due to his ability to find spaces. An exciting prospect. Would like to see some more of him before deciding further. Although I have been seen many messages and comments of why Declan Rice, well, this is the heat map of Declan Rice from the Wolves game as you can see his amount of presence on the offensive and in the opposition box, and as mentioned in my previous video that with Thomas Partey back and Jorginho already present, Arteta has moved Declan Rice to a more advanced position, and it's mainly due to his better positioning, high pressing and strength he possesses. Probably yes, who would not score as many goals compared to that someone like Martin Odegaard or Bukayo Saka, but if he can get nailed up that next swift of number 8 or number 10 position currently operating, he will get many more chances. With that, as the midfield is set, moving on to the forward, Southampton have been dominant against the Newcastle. Apart from the scoreline, However, they look equally vulnerable at the back with questions raised over the distribution of Saints goalkeeper Alex McCarthy leading to Magpies goals despite of a man down. With the likes of Hudson Odoi, Gibbs White and Anthony Elanga in support, Chris would be sure of the good opportunities will be presented as the Forest number 11 has been lethal in front of goal. And completing the lineup with last two seasons Golden Boot winner Erling Haaland as Haaland welcomed newcomers Ipswich for the first home fixture of 2024-25 season. Ipswich have shown some great resilience against Liverpool in the first half. However, all was not let loose as soon they considered their first goal with Liverpool immediately found another 5 minutes later with the second. Now, coming to the captaincy, multiple captaincy picks for the second game week with Salah facing Brentford, Gordon against Southampton, Son against Everton. However, it would be hard to ignore Haaland against Ipswich at Etihad with Phil Foden back in the 11 supported by Bernardo Silva and KDB, and probably Gundogan could also make his second new City debut, probably from the bench. However, Ipswich have shown their great resilience against Liverpool in the first half. Meanwhile, all was let loose as soon as they conceded their first goal, with Liverpool immediately found another 5 minutes later. City would surely like to find themselves on the score sheet and assert their dominance throughout. And that's all for the analysis. Make sure to keep an eye on the comment section. If any further changes happen, we'll keep posted there. Also, if you like this video, do smash the like button and share it with your friends, colleagues, families, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, do share your thoughts of the possible changes, transfers, captaincy pick, and any other suggestions you want to convey on this video. Feel free to share in the comment sections and let me know what possible changes or any strategies you are thinking of for the upcoming game week. Let's make it an interacting session. Till then, take care, Tata, goodbye. Meet it with the updates from the upcoming game week. Stay tuned to the channel and let's make this journey interesting.